Hey there, this is Porky's Boys. I'm Farley.
And I'm Two Tooth. And today we're going to give you the top 10 factions or alliances, corporations, what do you want to call them?
Factions.
Factions.
Top 10 factions of all time.
Yeah.
At number 10, we have the Radicals.
They're mostly known for WCW with Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko, Perry Saturn, and Eddie Guerrero. And they transferred over to the WWE when they had the Monday Night.
They were part of the Invasion storyline,
yep,
right?
Yep.
All right, at number 9, we have the Dangerous Alliance, which is going way back. Late 80s, early 90s, WCW. This was Paul Heyman when he was known as Paul E. Dangerously.
And he looks about 12,
Yeah,
13.
he was really young and skinny, and he had really, over time, it was a huge stable.
It's more of an influential thing that they're on here.
Yes.
At number 8, we have the Evolution. Triple H, Ric Flair, Batista.
Randy Orton.
Randy Orton.
Randy Orton.
Yep.
At the time, it looked like it was just a vehicle to make Triple H look good, but I think they had a good mix. They had Triple H really in his prime. They had Ric Flair way past his prime. Mm-hmm. And they had young Randy Orton and Batista, who became monsters after that.
If they were still in their prime, those four right there would, wow, unbelievable.
Yeah. Number 7, we have the fabulous Freebirds.
Terry Gordy.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
Michael Haynes.
Michael
Freebird.
I think of it more as a tag team. They just had 3 members, much like the New Day now, but they kind of set the stage for modern day factions. And
I think the Freebirds were the first ones that had the 3-person tag team where they could use any combination of.
That's why it's known as the Freebird Rule.
Right. Oh yeah. At number 6, we have the Bullet Club. This one's here not because of who's in it today or who's been in it. It's the people that have passed through and how influential and important they are in wrestling today. CM Punk, AJ Styles, Anderson Gallows, a lot of Finn Balor, a lot of big names come through there.
Yeah, I mean, if you run through a list of the roster of the Bullet Club over time, you're basically running through a who's who of wrestling nowadays. Mm-hmm. Number 5, we got the Corporation from the Attitude Era, obviously led by Mr. McMahon.
Yep, and if you got Mr. McMahon, he's going to put together a good group of guys. You got The Rock, The Undertaker, I think Kane was in there. I think whoever Mr. McMahon wanted, he just pulled him in and
all of the top guys from that. From the Attitude Era, beginning of the Ruthless Aggression, all of them at some point were a part of the Corporation.
He used that in a lot of storylines too, for wrestlers to turn between face and heel and join him or be against him.
Right.
That was all part of the big storyline. At number 4, we have Degeneration X, which ties into number 5 because number 5 was put together to combat number 4 in a lot of cases in that area. Yeah. So Degeneration X obviously is Triple H, Road Dogg, Badass Billy Gunn, and X-Pac, Shawn Michaels. Man, for a few years there, it ran the show.
At number 3, we have the Hart Foundation.
Can't leave them out of nothing.
Obviously, you have
Jim the Anvil Neidhart, the British Bulldogs, Bret Hart, Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
Well, Owen Hart later.
Owen Hart.
Definitely, again, influential.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best dressed corporation or faction in wrestling.
Why? Because you like pink?
I love pink. At number 2, we have the NWO. A lot of things went through that. They even broke off into the Latino World Order and Black and White, the Wolf Pack, the Red and White.
Well, it got completely ridiculous after a while with so many different groups of the NWO, and Hulk Hogan's heel turn was one of the biggest events in wrestling history. Obviously. I mean, there's no doubt about that. At number 1, we have the Four Horsemen. I mean,
what else can we say?
Another faction that changed a lot over time, but the core group was Ric Flair,
Arn Anderson,
Tully Blanchard, and Ole Anderson. I think that was the first modern faction.
Yeah. Before this,
and they ruled the NWA for
years.
Years. And that's it. That's our top 10 factions in wrestling history.